Oh, Joe Luke at the stage.
Alright. You don't want to sit, right? You probably want to adjust the mic a little.
My dad said he wanted to do improv comedy. And I informed him that usually when people do comedy, it's planned. And so I was like, you should just tell stories because we know all his funny stories from his childhood and that are like somewhat planned. So that's what he's gonna do. Yeah, this is my dad, Joe.
I don't have much. Mostly because I'm tired because I fell asleep in the car. My uncle locked the doors and I didn't want to wake him up. But I'll share a story or two. And we're going to be on our long drive back home to the swamp. You may know of it as the swamp, Washington, D.C. I might start. Somebody in the back asked me why you would drive to Arkansas to pick up a dog. And that's not a childhood story, but it actually is a pretty good one. And it also is an intro as to why I love parenting. How many parents do we have out there? How many parents? Let me see the hands. Yeah, okay, there should be a lot. At the end of this, there should be a lot more enthusiasm for parenting. Go out, marriage isn't even required. Just go out, make kids, or amazing. Prefer, okay, all right. Well, to each their own. But I'm going to tell you this story, and you'll find out one reason why I love parenting so much. So we named our dog Bill Burr. How many Bill Burr fans do we have? Any Bill Burr fans? All right, well, Bill Burr has a thought or two that he's shared about dogs. And that's what we've named our dog, Bill Burr. The reason why we drove all the way to Arkansas is because that's how far we had to go to find a dog that still had its balls. So we adopted a baby boy that's got some balls. Let's hear it for dogs having balls again. Thank you, Bill Burr. You're an inspiration. But there's my daughters here. She's like, well, why would these girls be listening to Bill Burr and, care so much about dog balls? Well, it's because I'm their dad and I got to teach them whatever I wanted to. And that's a great thing about parenting. You get to raise these kids however you want. It's like they can't go anywhere until they grow up.
That's right, brother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You might also... Yeah. All right. All right. So I have one story I want to share, not from my childhood, but from theirs.
Oh
And
boy.
this is the only story you're going to need to know about my own parenting philosophy, and you be the judge yourself about whether or not that worked out. But I don't argue with my teenagers. I haven't argued with them since they were, maybe like 5 years old. Because I thought I don't want to go through my whole parenting career nagging them. That's one reason why people don't like parenting. They're like, I don't want to have kids. I have to nag these kids all the time. It's like, I don't want to nag kids either. But I got them, so what am I going to do? They got to learn how to make decisions themselves. So by the time this one rolled around to about 5 years old, I said, all right, Sume, you're 5 now. That means you're going to have to start making decisions. You got to learn how to make those decisions early because, at some point, people are going to expect it of you. You might as well start now. Because now you can roll around and see 25-year-old kids that are still bringing home laundry to their mother to wash. It's like, this is crazy. Absolutely insane. So I said, all right, Sume, you're 5, so I'm not going to tell you when to go to bed. You're going to set your own bedtime. And she looked up at me. Okay. That was about 7 p.m. A few hours later, she's still up. It's 10 o'clock. I can't go to bed, I can't leave a 5-year-old wander around in the middle of the night. What did I sign myself up for? I've never done this before. So I kept, watching, seeing she's playing away. Midnight rolls around. She finally looks back up at me and she's all like, Daddy? Yes, sweetie pie. I'm kind of tired. All right, well, you want to go to bed? Uh-huh. All right, well, it's right over there. She's like, oh, okay. He's walking over to the stairs. And she's walking up the stairs, and she got about halfway up the stairs before she just lied right down to take a nap. I'm like, okay, no, that's not gonna work. Safety, safety. My wife's gonna get all over me. So I just lifted her up, carried her off to the bed, and set her down. And then the next morning, she still had to wake up. 7 a.m., that's the key. They gotta take responsibility for their own actions. You know what, ever since then, they've had a great sleep schedule. It's been fantastic. No nagging, go to bed. That's the key. So that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to have a long trip back tomorrow, going back to the swamp. Wish us luck with our baby Bill Burr with his balls. And thank you all very much for putting up with my lack of talent, unlike everybody else that's been here today. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all the musicians out here. Beautiful music.
DJ Rich.
Can I just say something? We've been doing this open mic for about a month now, and you're our first comedian where people actually paid attention.
Hey.
Yeah.